Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Tomorrow, January 29th, 2025, will be the first day of the Year of the Snake, the Chinese Lunar New Year. And one of the big things going on with the government tomorrow is the confirmation hearing for RFK Jr. as the Secretary of Health. And today, what was big in the news was his family member, Caroline Kennedy, essentially referring to her brother as a snake. And recall, this past summer, I did a video on this, that RFK Jr. put out this video called RFK Jr. the Snake. And what it was about is his fascination with snakes and how he loves to catch snakes and help snakes that are trapped. And of course, shortly after that, he partnered up with Donald Trump, who for years had been reading the poem, The Snake. And if you never heard Trump read the poem, The Snake, you should look that up. It's a story about how a woman let a snake into her house, and then the snake bit her and killed her. And the snake said, "You knew I was a snake, but you let me in your house anyway." And remember, RFK Jr.'s ex-wife is dead, just like Donald Trump's ex-wife is dead, just like Joe Biden's ex-wife is dead. And what all three men have in common, besides dead ex-wives and being snakes, is that they're all Jesuit-educated men. And remember, RFK Jr., when he had his anti-mandate rally in D.C., he did it on Georgetown's birthday when he's a grad of Georgetown Prep. I want you to see this. From the day that he put out that video on 7/2, July 2nd, 2024, to his confirmation hearing tomorrow, is 211 days. Again, 211 is the 47th prime number. Just like how the Stargate project equals 211. And that was announced on the 21st day of the first month, 21/1, 47 years after the federal government's last Stargate project, where the leader of that project was born in 1947. So, anyhow, Gematria, the Gematria piece with this. He put out that video, RFK Jr., on 7/2. I want to remind you about where these numbers fit in with the Jesuits, the Kennedy family, the history of assassinations. You can see that Jesuit order equates to 72. If you're new here, these are the four base ciphers. We're going to hit the value of, or all four of these values right here for Jesuit order that you see on the screen: 72, 153, 54, 144. Here's some other things that equal 72. President Trump equals 72. President Biden equals 72. Again, both Jesuit-educated men. And don't forget, Biden became senator-elect in 72, and then his wife and daughter died days later. RFK Jr. equates to 72. We got the first Jesuit pope on the 72nd day of the year, March 13, 2013. This practice of coding numbers into words comes from Kabbalah. There's 72 names of God in Kabbalah. In the Goetia, there's 72 demons. 72 is a very occult number. That's when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology. Does Jesuit order equate to 72? If you just run the alphabetic order in reverse, Jesuit order equates to 153, like Holy Bible. Again, the Jesuits are the military order of the Catholic Church. The Bible as we know it is thanks to the Catholic Church. Where RFK's father died, the Ambassador Hotel, it equates to both 153 and 54. As you can see, Jesuit order equates to 153 and 54. Dealey Plaza, where JFK died, also equates to 54. The Illuminati was founded by a Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt, in Bavaria. The Illuminati equates to 153. Bavaria equates to 54 forwards and backwards. Remember, when RFK Jr. filed his paperwork to run for president, he filed it on the 5th day of the 4th month, the 5th of April. A date that can also be written 4/5. And when he filed his paperwork, it was 144 days after the Superior General's birthday. That's the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa, born November 12th. I pointed out that day. His filing pointed to assassinations on the campaign trail, likely for number 45, Donald Trump, Remember, the first assassination hoax for Trump was 45 days after JFK's birthday. And with regards to JFK, he met with the Pope on July 2nd, 1963, the same day that RFK Jr. put out his snake thing 61 years later. July 2nd can be written 7-2. JFK died a span of 144 days later on November 22nd, 1963. His infant child died a few months earlier on August 9th, the day leaving 144 days left in the air. In 1968, MLK would be assassinated in a very Jesuit ritual. Again, he assumed the name Martin Luther after the Protestant Reformation leader who wrote the 95 Theses against the Catholic Church, which brought about the Jesuits. MLK was killed on the 95th day of the year on April 4th, which is words has much overlap with Jesuit order. JFK, again, met with the Pope, 7-2, died a span of 144 days later. RFK, his brother, died at 1:44 a.m., again in the hotel that equates to 54 and 153. If you write out Kennedy curse, it has a lot in common with these numbers. Kennedy curse. 144, 54, 63. When you think Kennedy curse, you think of JFK at the top, who got it in 63. Okay, just so you can see these other ones. President Trump. If I can correctly write it. President Trump. 72. President Biden's the same thing. Both Jesuit-educated men like RFK Jr. Don't forget, they simulated that Biden would beat Trump 144 days before the election with the Transition Integrity Project, June 12th, 2020. Look it up. They said Trump would refuse to step down. It would lead to a deadly altercation. Hello, January 6th. It's a reminder that Lincoln blamed the American Civil War on the Jesuits and was shot on 14/4, April 14th. But here also RFK Jr. 72. Notice the phrase, the snake, what he titled his post on July 2nd. Isn't it interesting how it's 29? And this year, the year of the snake falls on January 29th, the day of his confirmation hearing. And again, Secretary of Health. Think of the medical world as the snake, not kind of a universal symbol associated with the world of medicine. How many hospitals have the snake in their logo, including the World Health Organization? And, you know, the one thing that I must concede is, for a lot of my life, I've been a big fan of RFK Jr. You know, I have his book, Crimes Against Nature. I have his book, The Real Anthony Fauci. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't a Jesuit stooge when he had his mandate rally on Georgetown's birthday. That was January 23rd, back in the time of the scandemic. But then again, he filed his paper to run for president in a perfect ritual synced with the superior general that paid tribute to the assassination of his father and his uncle. And then, if that was enough, on April 19th, he gave his first speech for why he was running, and that's Ignatius of Loyola Day, to remember the founder of the Jesuits. It's the day in history he was recognized as the first superior general of the Jesuit order serving the Roman Catholic Church, April 19th. Fateful day in history, the day the American Revolutionary War began. Waco, Oklahoma City. More recently, the major Jesuit false flag ritual in Canada that got gun rights taken away. Of course, Canada's leaders, Trudeau, a Jesuit. But then there was also RFK dropping out of the race by the numbers on the 220th day of his age when Donald John Trump equals 220, and Inauguration Day is 220 days after Trump's birthday. And again, the rigged election gave us 220 Republicans in the House, where the last one was called on the third day of the 12th month, 3/12, after he got supposedly 312 electoral college votes, beating Kamala, who had her convention in Chicago, the 3-1-2, as they take out Candyman the same day they called the election for Trump when Candyman set in Chicago. And then they start the ICE raids in the 312 area code, and the Pope's name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio's 312. RFK Jr., the snake.
I'm here because I got a call from my daughter.
Isn't it interesting how
friend.
if you click on the video, it's actually 3 minutes and 12 seconds long? You think that's an accident? RFK Jr. the snake. This video, 211 days before confirmation day, the 47th prime for number 47. It's not good to be a coincidence theorist, truth seeker. And yeah, RFK Jr., he might get to play good cop, and a lot of his rhetoric might be right on point. But again, snakes, they're known for deception. Until next time.